How long gone? A beautiful Thursday in Florida, God's country. Jason, how are you?
Just did a hike over at Mount Maron. It was actually a blast. It was easy. I don't know what got in me. Maybe it's the NAD shots. Maybe it's my creatine oatmeal, but I had no problem pumping up that hill.
Oh, well, good. I know you're not a big cardio guy, so that's good to hear that you're
I know, right?
Seeing results already. And I wonder, do you think Maron now has sort of snipers set up just in case Andrew Schultz is doing the same hike, or do you think it's fine?
No. I think Maron wants to fight.
I think Maron does want.
He'll scrap.
I do think Maron wants to. Imagine if the thing is, Andrew Schultz is like a known. He loves boxing. You know what I mean? Which that could mean.
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah, all those fucking podcasters love to talk about boxing. It's the worst part of the pot. Like, it's the most boring. Mm-hmm. I'd rather listen to Shane Gillis talk about his take on modern art than listen to those guys talk about their love of fucking boxing. It's the worst. So what I'm saying is that either means that he's got some real moves or he's absolutely full of shit. And Maron can't do anything. He can barely play a Rolling Stones song.
But Maron's got the rage in him, bro.
That's true.
He's got nothing to lose.
Got nothing to lose.
And if he went to jail, it would be cool. Whereas if Schultz went to jail, it'd be like, oh.
Yeah, it's true. If Maron went to jail, if Maron did a year for assault on a fellow podcaster, that solidifies your legacy more than talking to Barack Obama twice. You make a good point.
It's like the photo of Bjork attacking the paparazzi for taking a picture of her kid.
Yes.
It's like
classic.
Makes you cooler than anyone else instantly.
No, that's true. That's really true. I forgot about that. There's a couple examples of that. All right, well, let's talk about sports gambling. Not something that I'm super knowledgeable about, but I noticed today there was some big news. Besides the East Wing of the White House getting torn down to build a nondescript ballroom, quote unquote. This is the biggest news. Apparently, these players and coaches.
What's gayer than wanting to build a ballroom? You know what I mean?
It's
not defeating the allegations.
So what's happening is these people were betting on sports. Obviously, they play in, but there's a mob family that is sort of running the book. Is that the correct understanding?
There's some sort of crime family. I don't remember what it. Uncle Paulie knows. Okay. I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah, his cousin's in it.
They're involved. I didn't know that kind of stuff still happened with like the rigged.
Yeah, same.
Poker games and the stacked decks and the blah. But number two quote. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's one. Number two, sucker born every day.
No, that's true.
You would think that they wouldn't. This would not like these are mafia scams from over 100 years ago, 200 years ago.
I like it. Like I think it's cool. I guess my issue is with sports. Like the way I think that we should just let them use whatever substances they want to increase their performance. Like let's just go fucking Marvel mode. Who cares? Yeah. I kind of think you can't turn sports into basically. It's all about gambling now. That's all anybody cares about. Like they're showing the lines on ESPN. Like once you start doing that, how can you expect these guys to resist? Throwing a couple balls out of bounds, bricking a few threes on purpose.
Yeah, and what else? How else are you going to compete with Wemby in your face? You have to use performance enhancing drugs, smelling salts, everything you can get your hands on to even try. But I think it's it's a sad reflection of it's the same reason why we can't watch our favorite television show without subtitles and an iPad and our phones with we have to have multiple screens. We have to have our media goon cave going at all times just to satiate ourselves. So sports, the thing that has brought our entire nation and humanity together across the world, across the globe, is now not good enough, and what's the point of watching a game if you don't got a little action on it?
And I get it. That's what would make me like sports, probably. Besides maybe old age, But luckily, I've avoided of all the vices that I've chosen to partake in. Gambling is the least attractive to me. Thank God.
I do simple gentlemen's bets. None of them are straight. The last bet was whoever loses this has to buy each other a fun dinner, and it's like Addison Rae album sales, or is the metric? What's the over under on that?
Addison, yeah. Two straight guys betting on Addison Rae's streaming numbers is pretty funny overall.
Loser buys bridges.
No, if it was real man shit, you go to Teresi. Like, that's real man
Ooh,
food.
yeah.
If you're getting frog legs for the homie, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. We should talk about this. So this Goon Cave long read from Harper's. It's by a guy named Daniel Kolitz.
Long read. It took me hours to finish.
I'm about halfway through it, and I gotta say, man, I only knew about gooning top line. I would say I've never taken the time or effort to really delve deep into the cave.
You knew the basic shapes and forms of it. You can wrap your head around it.
But wow, I got to tell you what, Big Dan opened my eyes, and I would say it's in I did not know how bad this was. Like I really didn't have any understanding of how deep and gnarly this is.
Yeah, I guess the interesting part about it to me is like how for younger people, how jacking off like a fucking feral goat is now something that is like publicly, positively open and spoken about.
Yeah.
Whereas 5 years ago, shameful.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
unthinkable.
When we were growing up, it's 100%. So it's only gotten less and less. But yeah,
like to be a kid in high school or even younger and tell your mom like, I'm a gooner, mom. Like, get out of my room. I'm trying to jack off. Like that. That is kind of gnarly to me.
It's really gnarly. Yeah. I mean, just all the terminology was pretty goon fuel, instead of pornography. These are fun words. I'll give them that.
Yeah, it's fun. Ethnic cleansing is a fun word for genocide. There's lots of fun little twists and turns you can use.
I didn't know how bad this was, though. I'm going to finish this because I'm pretty. I've been reading books, and this is a nice break. this goon 10,000 word gooning story is a nice break from a Richard Hell.
A lovely
book.
Reprise.
Yeah,
from Richard Hell.
I got the Richard, and I got the new Gabrielle Hamilton, the chef from Prune. Her other book is amazing. So I'm reading a lot because I want to not watch as much TV, and it feels like I'm succeeding at that while I'm here, which has been nice.
It's a little bit easier when it's an army of one doing it, when you're on your solo writer's retreat versus
it's 100%
wanting to entertain the whole household.
I don't have to watch. Not that I don't want to.
Margot and Bean will watch whatever I want, but the other one.
There's some other loudmouths in the house.
Yeah. Bean almost knows how to use the remote, but
the problem is I get the notifications from Alex purchasing different episodes of The Real Housewives on my Amazon account. So I do feel like I'm missing out, but I'm able to kind of keep my nose buried in the book if I can do my best.
No, just float on the air of superiority, knowing that you're tucking into a good book while the rest of the world is watching The Golden Bachelor or something.
Yeah. I know who the real me is though, and I'm not fooling myself. But I can at least suspend disbelief for a couple more weeks,
Well, these are the desperate measures that people have to do during these trying times, and we are middle-aged adults. You know what I mean? To go back to these little gooners, imagine the idea of somebody who has 37 screens open just to climax, and they still live at home with their parents. Imagine telling that person, like, hey, why don't you read Don Quixote with you in a chair and a glass of water? Could you do that? I'll give you $10 million if you can do that.
Not Don Quixote with a chair and a glass of water. Look, that's hard for anybody. A gooner? They ain't making
50 years ago, a book that would enthrall a nation.
Better than TV. It really grabs your attention, but no. Not with today's. Not when you have hentai at your fingertips. It's tough to kind of focus on the written word.
The thing that I liked, I mean, I guess it kind of has like a little bit of like a graffiti energy to it, where you are making this art, you are crafting this thing. I'm talking about for those of you who haven't read this article, there's people now who are creating compilations and remixes and things like that of this content.
Yeah,
but it's a selfless act. Hello.
Hey, give us 1 second. We got to finish the intro. Just give us a couple minutes.
Yeah, what was I saying, Chris?
You were talking about the Gooners and
So yeah, comparing it to graffiti writers or somebody who's maybe making, bootleg remixes and illegal white label pressings. Like it's a selfless act.
Yeah.
I guess you could make money off of it, but people are taking porn clips from all over the internet, crafting them into these compilations, these mixtapes, and each person has different styles and flavors. And
does anybody have eyes on DJ Drummer right now? Because he got in trouble for this before, so I just want to make sure.
And also similarly to like Grateful Dead bootleg recording
tapes,
people, where it's like, oh, like certain people, certain names will rise up in the ranks as like a trusted name, or like I really like how Snowflower 18 records the hi-hat frequencies, so I usually record their I usually buy her tapes or whatever. The same thing is happening. Like, this guy likes the same shit that I come to, and they make these dope videos, and they'll have 37 different screens, and each screen has multiple videos going, it'll be 3 or 4 videos of their favorite people having sex all at the same time. And then they will sync it to music that's like hard pounding, like Rape Dungeon techno. So the thrusts of organs are aligned with the rhythm.
Now you're back. I feel like you found your place in this art creation now, and you're thinking maybe it's time to pull out the chaos pad.
but it's also a thing where it's like, yes, you could be the Fred again or the Jamie XX of making cum videos, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, be on the cover of Time magazine? Like, no. Like,
actually, some people do call me the DJ Harvey of cum videos, but I don't lead with that.
You're only, it's true underground art, just like graffiti or whatever.
No,
like if you reveal yourself to be who you are publicly, you're at the very least facing public scrutiny, if not legal action.
If not, some jail time. Jesus Christ. All right, we have a guest.
On that note, we have a beautiful guest today. Nat Wolff is in the building.
He's got a new movie out, Play Dirty.
Fellow gooner.
He's got a new record out with his bro. Mm-hmm. He's been beasting for years, literally since he was a child.
Mm-hmm.
He's worked way harder than Jason. He's worked way harder than Jason and I've ever worked. So we need to get into that with the goat.
Okay, let's give Nat a jingle. Nat, do you have headphones on by chance?
I was gonna lie and say that I did.
We can see you though.
Or you could see me. I was gonna think that I didn't. I don't, because the ones that I have, you weren't gonna be able to hear me through them.
Okay.
Do you think that'll be okay?
I mean, are you able to not be outside on the street?
I'm by the water, but yeah, there's like helicopters and stuff. I think it could be a really exciting part of our interview.
Okay, we'll do it. We only asked 2 things: a quiet room and headphones, and you said no headphones, and I'll be out in the street in Manhattan.
You do sound better than you should. It is confusing.
That's Zoom's technology. Has nothing to do with Nat.
All right, Nat, where are you? Look, it looks like you're on location, Albuquerque. Check this out.
Okay, now I'm going into this tunnel hallway kind of place where there's nobody here. It's like an alleyway. Now it's going to be quiet, and there's not going to be anything.
All right,
now
so you're going to cop something for later. Maybe take a piss. I see what's going on here.
Yeah, I feel like we're taking a smoke break right now. This is nice.
Yeah, what city are you in though? I need to know.
I'm in Brooklyn. Where are you guys?
I'm in Florida right now. Jason's in LA, but Brooklyn is the Albuquerque of New York, so that kind of makes sense why I was able.
We're in Brooklyn. Alex and I are recording like the last bits on our album, because the label is like, you have to be done by November 1st. So, which is Alex's birthday. So we're doing like little last bits. We just started working with this new producer. And then I was supposed to do my interview in the sound booth. And then now that booth is being taken by another artist, and it all got fucked up. But I'm doing the best that I can, and I love you guys.
Hey man, look, I respect it, and I understand you got to get shit done. The label's beating down the door. You got singles out.
Yeah. Also, I just listened to your interview with Kevin Parker. It was sick.
Oh, you're a big Tame. You're a Tame head, aren't you?
I listened to it. I listened to it this morning, and I was thinking, I think I'm doing the interview with them today, but I didn't even know. Yeah.
Really
exciting. Yeah,
that's true serendipity going on. So you didn't? So was that the first episode of this pod that you have listened to? It's okay, no judgment.
No. I think there was I feel like there was a director, a movie director.
We've had a lot of your favorites on. Malcolmus. Maybe you're talking about Eugene Kodolenko.
No, not Eugene. Malcolmus probably.
You don't know. Don't tell me you know Eugene too. This motherfucker only knows haughty little young actors. It's starting to get questionable to me.
Wait. Eugene, the director?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know him very well, but I remember I had him.
He knows you well.
Well, we might be working on a project together, as they say.
No.
Okay, so you are in Brooklyn in the lab. I'm actually going to be in Brooklyn this weekend. I'm going to go see Tame Impala on Halloween at Barclays. You want to go?
Fuck yeah. Wait, what day?
Halloween day, the 31st.
We're doing like my brother's doing a birthday party, I think, in LA. So I think I'm gonna have to fly on Halloween morning to LA
The
and
dreaded
go.
Halloween.
You
That
guys
sounds
are.
awesome.
You guys are. Look, I don't mean to intrude on personal family business, but you guys are too close, bro. You too much. You do enough together. Like, let this guy have his birthday on his own.
It's a brother's birthday party. Is it a special year or is it just a whatever 32?
What is he turning? 28. I guess it's special because he didn't die at 27,
Sure.
so he's not in the 27
That's
club.
right.
So it's kind of like a celebration that he made.
My biggest
past.
regret. My biggest regret.
Not dying at 27.
Yeah. And your brother's been real hard living, you know, a lot of guns, a lot of drugs. So I'm surprised he made it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we're lucky, man. How much? You're older, right?
I'm 3 years older, but we were just on a plane recently, and somebody was like, "Wait, you're the younger brother, right?" And I took that as a big compliment, which I would have hated when I was young. When we were kids, I would have hated that so much.
Yeah.
'Cause I wanted to seem older, but now it sounds awesome.
When you're 12, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
and now you're like, wow, thank you. I've been doing a lot of eye masks lately. My Chinese peptides are working out.
Do you live in LA though? You don't live in New York, right?
Yeah, we grew up in New York, but I moved to LA like 2019.
Oh, I didn't realize you grew up in New York.
Yeah, we grew up in New York, and then it's been strange. All my friends from New York have all moved to LA, so I actually get into town here, and I don't know anybody. Alex still lives here most of the time, but his girlfriend's in LA, so he's always in LA too.
Do you miss the Big Apple, or are you feeling good?
I do. I get here, and I did a play here a year and a half ago, and I was loving it so much, having this amazing time. And then winter hit, and I was like, "Oh, this is why." It's like so cold and brutal.
I gotta get back to Beechwood.
You gotta explain to me this play shit, because all you motherfuckers do it, and it sounds hard and low paying. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it's very rewarding, Chris, being in the room right there. You wouldn't get it.
I get it. I know it's rewarding, but like, you know, I get why Denzel does it. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have anything to prove, bro. You ain't trying. You know, like you've done your thing. Like Denzel's still got to convince people he's really got the chops.
I don't think
You
so.
think Denzel has to convince people he's got the chops?
Guys, that's a joke. That's a joke.
That's going to be the headline.
Nat, of course, we all know, nothing to prove.
That's what I'm saying. I know I'm joking, but every person I've ever talked to that does that is like, yeah, it was the worst thing I've ever done. Like for my body and my mental health.
I actually told I got asked to do another play last year, and I was telling my therapist, I actually just got asked to do that. He goes, "No!" Like that, just screamed out a no, because it is really, it was the one I did a couple of years, or like a year and a half ago, was the seagull. And so I had basically, by the end of the play, had to commit suicide every single show, like 8 times a week. So it was like, you had to go from this hopeful kid to just like,
not have to commit suicide 8 shows a week.
I die 4 nights a week, twice on Saturdays and Fridays. My life is going great.
8 nights a week.
8 nights a week. Oh, God. Was that, you were in a play with Hari Neff, right?
Yeah, that was the play that she was in.
That was the play. Okay.
She's unbelievable actress.
Maybe she's the one who told me that shit sucked. I can't remember.
I think she was the very first guest on this podcast.
No
the
way.
First week of COVID, yeah.
Yeah, she's so incredible, and we ended up being in a dressing room together called the all gender dressing room, AGDR, and it was me, her, David Kale, Patrick, and Elise Shannon. It was so
AGDR.
fun.
So you're saying the entire cast basically was in one dressing room?
Okay, so you walked in there and pulled your dick out, and you're like, "See, deal with it."
See, it says on the door. It's cool if I do this.
That's what I thought. Nobody wants to see these balls.
How many people were in the cast? You got 5 in a dressing room. How
There
many
was a
fucking
lot of
were
people
on-
in the cast. It was like 12 people or something, and we were all spread out between 3 dressing rooms. And then people would be like, "You guys are, this is becoming cliquey." But then, at a certain point, the other people who weren't in the all gender dressing room were really happy they weren't, because, it was a nonstop party.
Okay, nonstop party. You're saying, and this is
Ari
off,
Neff. I mean,
is this off Broad? This is an off Broadway like serious production.
It was at the Signature Theater.
Okay, what were tickets hitting for? If I'm just walking up off the street, I don't know Hari, I don't know you. What am I paying?
Maybe day of, you'd be you'd have to reach deep into your pockets. But maybe before that, you could get, it's like a plane flight or something if you did it early on.
Sure, it gets sure, it gets closer to the day the price goes up. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
That's fair.
actually, let's talk about flying. I know that you've had to do a lot of flying in your short life. You probably done how many runs Australia, like Sydney, LAX, and back? How many of those you done? Probably.
Oh my God. I mean, in the last like 5 years, I've spent so much time in Australia, and that flight and the jet lag there is brutal. That's super brutal. But I've done that flight a million times.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was doing Play Dirty, I had to fly back to do Billie's music video for Chihiro one night, do that video, and then fly all the way to Australia, and then be shooting like 2 days later. But honestly, for me, I think for a lot of people, I'm way happier in the chaos of a schedule like that than I am when nothing's going on and you're kind of like having to make your own schedule, and you're like, okay, well, I have to make myself get up before 10 o'clock. Why? I'm not sure, but I'll find something to do. I guess I'll go work out.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, because it's too embarrassing to wake up later,
Yeah, there's reason enough. Okay, well, when you're on all those runs, Chris and I have been to Australia before. I've been a few times. It's a long fucking flight. What are your methods? Do you get zen? Do you take drugs? Do you watch 4 Pacino movies in a row? You read a good book? Do you eat the food?
You're an eye mask guy, I can tell.
Hell, I'm like put my head on the table, that pull-out table.
Like a student in like a middle school student?
Yeah, exactly, and you kind of sleep like that.
Okay, so you don't get first class to Sydney, bro? Come on.
Don't lie to us, bro. You ain't had a seat that doesn't recline all the way in a long time, big bro.
If I'm doing my own, if I'm grabbing my own flight, then I'm putting my head on the table and I'm in the back by the bathroom. But if they're grabbing the flight, then I always feel like it's.
I like they in this instance.
I always feel like I'm the kid in Home Alone.
You're gonna grab this $7,000 flight? Thank you.
If they do it, whoever.
If it's a movie grabbing it, or then I'm
sure.
I'm taking.
The studios are willing to pony up for one of their stars to get a good night's sleep.
Okay, so with all the money that you save taking, seat 49F, what are you spending that cash on?
I got a call from an accountant like 5 years ago going, do I have these numbers right? Because it looks like you haven't spent anything for your entire life. Because I live really, really, really cheaply and below my means.
Damn.
But I think it's kind of I think now that I'm 30, I'm seeing that it pays off, because I have some friends who are, who really like to.
They're really poor now.
Ball and buy a lot of shit, and they're like running out of money.
I didn't know you hung out with Mr. Beast. He seems to be doing fine. I mean, he's got a lot of cars, but.
Chris is obviously joking, but name one of the people that is
let's call him out.
Spending too much money.
Well, there was a period where Alex did a movie about frats, and he flew all the kids out from the fraternity to come and be in the movie as like little parts and extras and stuff. And I remember him I got a call from an accountant about getting IVs, because I've gotten IVs before. Okay. And they were like, these are for your health, right? Because these really add up. That was the only time that I think I've really balled out.
Wow, you have a real narc-ass accountant. That they would love the IVs are the least of my problems, and I make a fucking fifth of what you make. Less.
As a content creator, you can write those off, though.
Yeah.
I heard this thing recently where they were like, rock bands used to spend all their money on tour on coke, and now they spend all their money on NAD.
That's real. No, that's very real. I love you getting it. So you're saying your brother flew out an entire fraternity to give them bit parts in a movie out of the goodwill of his own pocket.
Yeah, and I remember him being like, I think I might have overextended.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this was a great idea, and then I kind of started looking at the numbers, and it wasn't so great.
The numbers weren't adding up.
Is your brother also dating a musician?
My brother has been dating this artist, Rozzy, who's incredible.
Rosie. I like that name. Fun name.
It is a fun name.
They started dating in the pandemic, so we all kind of lived together in LA. And that's when Alex and I started. It was the first time we'd lived together, actually, since we were little kids, or maybe like teenagers. And it was really, really amazing, because like we hadn't really been, most of our music making was like sending each other songs, then going into the studio and kind of figuring them out. But we had like a year of doing nothing. So we just wrote songs together, and like,
We locked the fuck in. She would be knocking on the door trying to hang out, and you're like, we're locked
sorry, we're locked in.
in. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, sorry, babe, we're locked in. If you could just come back in like an hour.
And I remember my friend Austin was living with us at a certain point, and Alex and I were getting into a fight about something with the guitar, something with a guitar part or something that we were doing a demo of, and we were screaming at each other. And Austin was like, and then we immediately were like, "Hey, I'm sorry, Alex." He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man." And we made up, and Austin was like, he doesn't have a sibling, and he was like, "Oh God, I thought the band was going to break up." I was like,
I thought that was it. We're done here.
He thought it was Oasis. He thought it was like over.
Are you one of those guys who has a house and somebody always kind of lives with them? Maybe until now.
Yeah.
Like you got a homie that's there because you're not around and like
all the time.
Okay.
Big Steve is there right now making a dope ass omelet up in Beechwood.
What do these friends bring to the table besides companionship? Like they feed the dog while you're gone, or like what are these guys doing?
You don't need a designated driver, it seems like.
Hopefully they're paying rent, but I don't want to get into your pockets like that.
You guys are really financially focused.
Well, look, I think
is.
This is the biggest capitalist podcast.
That's we've been called that, but they call me Capitalist Chris on the Reddit, so you're not wrong.
Whereas I'm more of a Mamdani.
Oh man, I got my real group of friends was a tight knit group, but they all are New York. They're all New Yorkers. Few of them are actors. Few of them musicians. One of them has become a really renowned acting teacher. So we get a lot out of that relationship because he does audition tapes for everybody in the entire friend group.
I get a lot of that. He gives me free coaching. So you're saying this person is like your peer age wise? Yeah,
he's a few years older, and he's always seemed like kind of an older brother to all of us. But he's pretty much our age. Now
that's
we're
cool.
all getting older. Yeah,
I didn't realize. I feel like that's for some reason I imagine sort of like a Ivy League English professor vibe type for an acting coach, but I guess they can be like a cool 32-year-old.
I feel like they become that, but yeah, it's like the young hip professor or something in a movie about college.
You got to start somewhere. You got to start at some point, Chris.
Exactly.
I've always been fascinated by acting classes because it seems like if you're watching those from outside and you don't have an understanding of what's going on, it literally looks like monkeys in the zoo. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't understand what's happening, it looks crazy from the outside.
That's more improv to me, but yeah.
Did you guys do comedy improv? I've never done one of those classes.
No, I'm repulsed by it in every way. But I guess maybe I'm thinking.
You know,
right,
what's
Jason?
that game that they always play? It's like freeze, and then you have to make a new scene. Freeze, and then you make a new scene.
I feel like it is probably helpful to learn that if you're trying to be an actor of any sort later in life. I don't understand it for any other purpose. Like I feel like it must come in handy.
Well, it's the same thing as like when they tell football players to do ballet. It's just like makes them more well-rounded, and graceful, and conversational, and
agile.
Rewires the brain a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to go back to acting class. I try to go back, in between stuff, and then I work with like an acting teacher who I love.
So like you'll get a script and be like, all right, let's get on Zoom for the next 6 weeks or whatever.
You call up James Franco, go over to his workshop, and you start banging out lines.
I mean, they have, I feel like it's like that. The football thing is a great analogy. It's like, you kind of, even if it's something that feels really ridiculous, like, what did you say? Pretending to be a monkey or something?
I just mean like the warm-ups and shit. It's like you're like saying stuff that isn't real words and like moving your body in a way that maybe you
totally.
wouldn't.
But I do think it can get you over the embarrassment and ridiculousness of what it means to be an actor anyway, or to do any art form. It's like you just have to be okay with being humiliated.
That's what the money's for.
We reference the great poet Sky Ferreira all the time on this podcast. Everything is embarrassing is something that I live by. Yeah. And there's no way I can't think of one thing I do on a daily basis that's not embarrassing at this point. It's nonstop.
It's kind of like, what's the point if it's not taking you to the brink of embarrassment? What's the point?
I need to feel something.
Then it's just fucking boring.
It is. No, I agree with you. Yeah. I think there's some truth to that.
We were talking about gooning in the intro, and that's a nice little callback to that, Nat.
How is that a callback to gooning?
I think the shame and the degradation is a part of it. Like if it's not, like if my mom wouldn't cry knowing what I'm doing right now, what is even the point of jacking off to it?
Do you think that Kevin Parker was mad that you said that his lyrics were like Drake? He seemed like he froze up a little.
I think he's never heard a compliment that high before and he didn't know how to process it.
I would love that. I thought the compliment was sick, but he was like, there's a lot to unpack there, and then it just went silent.
I mean, bro, if you go viral 2 days before you do our show talking about how you watch Family Guy in your lyrics, what do you want me to do?
Right.
Jason's only so strong.
It was it really was a compliment because I've listened to Tame Impala, for the entirety of his career. And on this album, I was like, it kind of sounds like he's getting a little flow going. And then I would read the lyrics just written out on Genius.com instead of hearing it. And I was like, this has the structure of like a hip hop song or like something that Drake would sing rap, you know?
I know. I love that. One of you guys started kind of pointing out lines that were like that, and he was like, yeah, I kind of went for a harsher lyrical vibe. It was really interesting to hear. I haven't heard the new album yet, but
really?
The Family Guy thing is really good. It's actually a bar. It's really,
yeah. What does he say? You like watch Criterion movies, and
he said you're a cinephile. I watch Family Guy.
That's funny. That's like good stuff.
But it's also him. Yeah. You know, it's real and it's authentic, and it's a thing that I feel like many people can relate to nowadays. Because, like you said, Criterion. Totally. Every cool hot chick in Brooklyn right now has a letterbox, and she's not gonna fuck you unless you have cool movies on your letterbox. And if you write like, I watch Family Guy, I'm just, I think a lot of people could relate to that.
I disagree. I think that's like skater dick. It's like if the mattress on the floor, like if he watches Family Guy, he doesn't know what letterboxed is. Like put a ring on it.
Oh, okay. He doesn't even know how to spell Godard. He's gonna fuck the shit out of me. Yeah. I got it.
It could go both ways. Like, who does Noah Baumbach ride for? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it. Like Letterboxd is if I went on Letterboxd, it would look like I was trying to read in a different language. I'm so averse to cinephile behavior. Like I don't think I would be able to understand it.
How about all these people who are like actors and directors and they're rating movies on Letterboxd and reviewing movies? I'm like, what if you end up working with these people? Or like, you're gonna go to their screening or something, and they're gonna be like, hey, you fucking trashed me on Letterboxd.
Hey, Nat, try being a podcaster. I meet somebody I've trashed every day.
This is a minefield that I walk through. Actually? You have to deal with it.
I've probably trashed you. No, I'm joking. I have.
You better not have, Chris.
No, I don't. I wouldn't say trashed, but I think when you do that's different because that's so calculated. You have to like log on and think about it and type it. We kind of talk a lot, so you forget sometimes what you say.
Yeah.
And it's easy for what we say on the pod to be lost in the ether versus it being text that you can search on the internet at any given moment.
How about when you're like, just doing an interview and then you log off like this, and then I go, what the hell did I say? What did I say that's going to get me in trouble? What did I say that's going to be the headline?
We do that every day, but no one cares what we say as much as they care. That's the difference, is that we...
I care what you say. Okay, now I'm allowed to go back into this fucking booth. So I'm going to go into the booth. Wait, is there a way to pause and I can just call you right back? And because I'll also be able to hear it better.
Okay. Zara Larson's finished her cut.
Okay, I'll call you back 1 second.
Okay, for our listeners at home, Nat is in a booth, his headphones. So who was in the booth before that was blocking you out? Is it somebody important and good?
It was Paul McCartney.
It's crazy enough. Paul had to
come. You let him finish up his takes. That was cool of you to do that.
No, I said, Paul, I got this fucking podcast to do. Get your ass out of the booth.
I saw that he's doing a Wings book.
What does that mean?
Like a book about his time in Wings, like the band. Whoa.
Yeah,
I guess people care about anything Paul McCartney does.
I care. There's some amazing Wings shit.
I agree, but I feel like it's sort of overlooked. You know what I mean?
Actually, I heard your story involving Paul McCartney at the Oasis show. Could you tell Chris that, please?
Yeah, basically I randomly sat next to him. We've been obsessive Beatles fans since we were little kids, like really crazy obsessive. And I had posters all over my wall of just Beatles. That was it. And like,
were your parents into it?
My parents were into it, and they showed it to us, like Rubber Soul and Revolver, but we took it way further than they ever did.
Sure.
But I also didn't really as a kid understand that these artists had aged. So I remember I had the James Taylor CD, and he was this young kind of beautiful guy. And I remember my parents going, James Taylor is on TV, come and watch. And I came out and I was like, who the fuck is this bald guy?
I mean, yeah.
This MF old.
That's not James Taylor.
We all age. It's gonna come for your little ass too one day. So let's stop.
That was your Santa Claus Easter Bunny moment, knowing that James Taylor wasn't 19 anymore.
That was a huge
in 2003.
That's actually a good example of one that's shocking because he was so good looking. He was like,
I know.
and he had like a mane.
Beautiful.
He had like a mane.
I know, beautiful long hair, and he's like, you know, and I would just stare at the cover like, God, this guy's so fucking cool. And then I was, you know, ran into the kitchen where the TV was, and I was like, oh, who the hell is this guy?
And now he's so bald.
So bald. Then I went to this restaurant and like I saw Paul there, but I wasn't with Alex. And I went up to him and I started crying, talking to him. And then he was so sweet to me, and his wife at
What restaurant, if you don't mind me asking? We'll bleep it out.
It was in the Hamptons. I can't remember what it was called, but he's always in the Hamptons, I guess. And then Alex, when I told him, I was like, dude, I actually, you know, I met Paul, and he found out that my friend David was there and he wasn't there. Alex like punched a hole in the wall. So there's just been years of him being so jealous and pissed off that I was the one that met Paul. And then we at the Oasis show, we ended up getting lost and we couldn't get back to our seats, and we ended up at this elevator, and they were like, you guys go up because Paul McCartney and team are coming. And Alex didn't even hear it, and I was like, don't move, just don't move. And then Paul came in and we kind of bum rushed into the elevator, and Alex was immediately, his hands start shaking, and he was like, hey, Paul, I just want to tell you. And he went to reach to lift because he has a tattoo of, you know, here, there, and everywhere. And he went to reach to show it. And the security guard thought, I guess he was grabbing a gun or something. So the security goes, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Goes at him. And then Alex is like frozen. He's like, sorry, I have the tattoo that I wanted to show you. And then Paul's like, well, I'd like to see the tattoo. It was so sick. And then Alex showed him the tattoo. And then I was like, Paul, you're the greatest ever. And as he's leaving, Paul's like, thanks, mates. And then just walks out. And I mean, you don't get better than that.
No.
Doesn't get better than that.
You don't. Well, I guess the only thing better is if Paul McCartney's security guard actually attacks you, and then Paul has to come over to your house and sign a couple guitars and have tea with you so you don't sue him, you know? That would be
that would be sick. Yeah. Or
you just sue the shit out of him.
If we could somehow have Paul McCartney blackmailed. But at the end of it, Alex was like, you don't think Paul felt threatened by me, right?
You're like, no, you fucking twerp. He's Paul McCartney. He's got 6 guys with him. Like, what?
No, I said, and also Paul is forgotten. Immediately is forgotten.
Paul is forgotten.
This interaction is one of a billion that he's had today.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know how a guy like that moves through the world. Honestly, like, I know how he moves in an Escalade with 3 guys with him at all times, but I just mean, like, he seems genuinely pretty nice. Yeah. And I feel like when you're that level of, like, you changed everyone's life, basically.
How do you maintain such a positive attitude socially after having, like you said, he has a million of those interactions every single day since 1951 or whatever, you know?
And
like,
when I saw him at the restaurant, the waiters,
he's still a beautiful light.
The waiters were literally dropping plates of spaghetti and meatballs on the floor because they're just like, they can't handle. It's different than an actor, because I think when you're an actor, you know, it's like, I mean, I really idolized a lot of actors when I was younger and stuff, but you meet them and you're not meeting the character that you saw in the movie. You're just meeting the guy who portrayed the character. Whereas with a musician, it gets really confusing because you're like, you are my childhood, you know, things like that.
I say that all the time. It's totally different art forms to me in a lot of ways.
Totally.
Right. And I think that's why we're also disappointed with actors. And that's why I'm glad you got into music.
Yeah. Well, I've had this funny thing happen where if people, you know, I can just see it with us. If people recognize me or Alex from movies, like if they know me from a movie, it's usually like, hey, so nice to meet you, big fan. Can I take a picture? And if it's from like music, especially from when we were kids, you know, like music we made that since then, it's a completely different energy. It's like, hi, and intense.
That's like I think that's interesting though, to be like known for 2 different things, and the people that
I know
you can tell what they know you from based on their reaction to seeing you.
Oh, totally. It's a completely different energy.
I just read that. I hadn't read this and I put it off. The Jeanette McCurdy book, the I'm Glad My Mom Died. And it's very good, and it sold.
I haven't read that.
It sold 3 million copies, which is kind of unheard of for a fucking book. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, let me check it out.
Wow.
But the level of recognition from like a young age, I think is also so twisted because people like you're an adult and they're still calling you your character name from when you were 8 or whatever.
So bad.
Yeah, it's exactly. It seems like
right.
I'm like, oh, I see why you had some issues. You know what I mean? This all tracks.
And I don't really know that much about her story, but it sounds like it was a really traumatic period. So to constantly be reminded of that traumatic period is tough.
It's got everything. It's pretty funny. It's like her mom's awful. And then she like gets her first boyfriend, and he's a schizophrenic who thinks he's Jesus. It just like keeps going. You know what I mean? Like,
did he turn out to be Jesus or no?
Sadly,
that's
after
it feels like user error to me, honestly.
Yeah, I thought I was Jesus before too, but that was drug related. That wasn't just like
I think with the child actors, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like there's like you're forced to be like a charming person at an age where it's too like people will say like the sexualization of people before they're older enough, like that can be damaging, but having to be like A-list level charming person and on at the age of 9, I feel like by the time you turn into an adult, you've used up all of your charming juice.
Yeah, I mean, I also just think it's a lot of time around adults. It's a lot of time talking to adults. So you kind of, I think for us, there was, we did go to real school during the year and all, but it is a confusing thing to have that much attention on you by adults and you don't know who you are yet. And so like 11, 12, 13, 14 is sort of the age that in the new album that Alex and I have been working on, it's kind of what we're going back to in terms of reflecting on that time, because the reason I got to thinking about it is because I was in I was leaving therapy, and this kid came in who was like 12 and he was wearing a fedora, and he looked so uncomfortable in his body and who he was. And I had worn a fedora at that age, and I said to my therapist, like, why is it that at that age these kids, they put on such ridiculous hats and like because that's all they have as an identity. They don't know who they are, so they're like, the hat is my identity.
Yeah, I'm fedora guy.
I'm fedora guy now, and it's paint. And they probably saw like, he seemed like a theatery kind of kid. He probably saw Guys and Dolls or something, and he was like, now I'm getting
look,
that guy.
I still wet the bed, but I'm a fedora guy now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like this idea of being an adult when you want to be perceived as an adult, but you're so clearly not. And then I think, probably being famous or being the public eye, it just exacerbates that strange feeling anyway. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so when you were younger, you were wearing fedoras, maybe because you wanted to, maybe because the photo shoot or the role called for it. Now that you're an adult with 100% free will, how often do you have to wear clothes that you don't want to wear for like a photo shoot or something like that?
Oh, thank God I don't have to do that much. I mean, but honestly, the fedora was fully my idea as a kid.
You're like, yo, I want to. Let
me be clear.
So I thought I was. When I put the fedora on, I thought I was the coolest person in the entire world. I look at pictures now and I see a small child with a large fedora. It almost looks like I'm drowning in fedora,
Yeah, you were drowning.
Yeah, but at the time, it was kind of true.
Yeah.
You're walking around, you with the fedora, everyone still wants to hang out with you and get your autograph and everything. It seems like the fedora is working to you.
What? All right, so if I go on Wire Image and I start poking around, when do you think it starts? Like what age? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to you. I like you too much. But what age?
It starts at 12, I think.
Yeah, that starts
tough.
At 12. That's tough. I'm thinking about myself at 12. And I was a big guy.
Well, I went from being like, 4'10" kid to like growing so tall in one summer and then having my voice change. I was like 13 and I was the same height I am now, which is almost 6'2". Just want everybody to know it's almost 6'2". Not quite 6'2", but it's almost 6'2". Just let the people know that I'm just putting my face all the way up to the camera.
You're 5'11" and a half with your Beatle boots on.
So you came back from summer break and Nickelodeon said you are too hot and hunky and adult and tall to be. You're fired. Get out of here.
Covered in acne and so yeah. Also, I was like a puppy, just long arms, long legs with no kind of just not knowing how to.
Yeah, the girls hate that. The girls really hate that.
That's really. I mean,
how tall are you, Jason?
I'm 6'9". Chris is 6'4".
No, you're not actually.
Yeah, dead ass.
Holy shit! Did you guys play basketball?
No.
Nope.
I mean, I did more than him. I'm an athlete, obviously, if you couldn't tell through the screen.
Yeah, duh.
I'm more of a tennis guy, more of a cycling guy. I played baseball growing up, not basketball.
It's good to be 6'9" when you're cycling.
I mean, cycling through hose. No, I mean, being tall, long legs, good for pedaling.
That's true.
You're a fucking
Long,
idiot.
lean muscles.
You are a fucking idiot. It's bad for your back, though. I honestly, I feel like I do feel like even if you get the bike that's the right size, you're still hunched. I'm asking, Jason. I'm asking.
No. There are. I mean, like every sport, it's not ideal. I got no CTE, but yeah, maybe I have a strained upper side butt.
Sure. Okay, Pilates.
Maybe my flexors are tight. I don't have CTE. I'm not going to shoot my family.
What are you doing for exercise? I know they got you seeing a trainer. You've been in Hollywood too long.
And don't say pickleball.
They better. Kirsty Gotso's got your ass lit up, I bet.
I have to say, before this last year, I would have never said, but in the last year, I have gotten ridiculously good at pickleball.
What's wrong with you, bro? Have you been hanging out with Maroon 5? What's the problem?
I've done I played basketball growing up, so that's my that's my favorite thing. But then I can't really do it for real because I've broken so many fingers and then it's become such a problem.
You have a life. You can't just be hooping and then
you got a noodle. You got to shred on the Jazz Master.
But it's the most. I mean, for me, it's the most fun. For
basketball
sure.
is really fun. I find pickup basketball devolves into some sort of fight with strangers. At least in New York, I used to when I moved to New York. And back when I grew up in Atlanta, I would play pickup basketball, and almost every time it would end in
like at the Cage. Where did you play?
No, not the Cage. Hell no. At the fucking YMCA on Bowery with a bunch of white boys. It was not the Cage. It was not the Cage.
I wouldn't get into a fight there, Chris.
I don't even like to walk by the cage. I cross the street. I don't like to get near the cage.
I'm sorry.
Well, they don't let you. I've tried to play when I was younger. I would try to play the Cage, but they have they're always kind of booked up with people that have been there all day.
They ain't gonna let your ass. They can one look at you and they're like, no, we don't.
No, the Y. I played at the Y. That's so fun.
Can you go play with Sandler? I feel like you got a couple steps away from him, huh?
I've never met Sandler, but I would love. I heard he's really good.
I heard he's a weapon.
I think he's one of those guys who's like strangely not athletic but really good at basketball, if that makes sense. Like he's not running that much, but he's doing whatever his job is very well when he is positioned on 2 feet.
You try to box him out, he's solid.
There's like those guys who
solid. Lifts his shirt up, nothing. Can't move the guy.
There's those guys who can't really play basketball, but then they've been practicing their 3-point shot for like 3 years, so they just hit him with a 3. They can barely dribble, but they.
I was gonna let you slide on this, but how did you get infected with the pickleball disease? Who exposed you to it?
I got infected through my cousins were super into it, and then in LA, once I moved to LA, there's like kind of a new fad exercise where if you want to play any sport with people, you have to do the new one, and pickleball has been kind of the one in the last couple of years. But it's a little embarrassing to say, but honestly, have you done it? It's really fun. Like if playing tennis is such a thing, you got to actually exercise and put on, an outfit and with pickleball, I could do it in my jeans.
So you're admitting pickleball is more of a child's play.
Definitely. But it's so fun.
Do you break a sweat? I mean, in LA, I guess you do because it's hot.
Yeah,
and the Maroon 5 guy says it's the quickest way to reach a flow state, which is why.
Which Maroon 5 guy?
I don't remember.
Funny.
They all, most of them play tennis. Half of them listen to the pod. I don't remember who it was, but
James.
Do you play tennis with Maroon 5?
I think James Valentine might be a professional pickleball player as well as a crazy tennis player at this point.
Hell yeah!
But his argument for why pickleball was that it's the fastest way to reach the flow state, so you're able to have a Zen-like meditative state way faster and way longer. You're able to goon the meditative state with pickleball.
I actually see that.
Rallies are longer.
He worships at the temple of pickleball.
I feel like the dink would take me out of it, Jason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like we did.
Yeah, that's not flow state-ish to me.
But also, I don't know. You can't trust people who need that much flow time. Like, what's going on inside of that brain?
Yeah,
to flow away from it, brother, man.
what's going on inside your head that's so chaotic that you need a pickleball for?
Yeah, it's like Full Metal Jacket. We got to, have you killed before? Will you kill again without pickleball?
Now with pickleball, you got to have 4, or can you do a 1-on-1?
You could do 1-on-1, but it's not quite as fun. But yeah, you can do 1-on-1.
Because the ball, 4 looks more fun just because there's more action.
Yeah, 4 is so much more fun. But I being at the net, you feel like a monster. You feel like you're 8 feet tall. It's like if you're playing tennis as as a giant.
Okay.
This is a pretty good. You're doing a pretty good job of selling it in the right way to us. It's not going to work, but I appreciate your efforts.
No, I find it just as embarrassing as you do. I find it embarrassing that I love it, but I do love it.
So even though that you've had sex before, they still let you play?
No, I haven't. I had never done the sex thing before. But I really want to have sex one day. So the idea is I try to get in as much pickleball as I can.
Smart.
Sure. Sure. I totally get that.
Because once I have sex, then not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
You gotta
I want to
move
get
on.
my flow states in before I.
You got to hang up the hokas as soon as you tap that.
Yeah. Are they?
Dude, how do you know that I was wearing? I did wear hokas for like 6 months. Pretty
I was going to
embarrassing.
ask
No
about
problem.
the pickleball look, because I feel like it's still new enough of a trend where maybe there haven't been like cool, and there's no district vision of pickleball. Like things aren't popping up yet, or am I wrong?
No,
Are
you're
there
wrong.
like independent footwear?
No,
There's a lot.
I think it's becoming a thing. I think there's leagues and
I know.
stuff.
I mean, clothing wise specifically.
No, there's shoes, there's gear, there's multiple clothing companies, paddle companies, accessories, the whole thing.
I just don't see what on earth the difference could possibly be between a tennis shoe and a pickleball shoe as far as what you need. You know what I mean? I guess it's just a branding exercise, though.
One, you look like a virgin.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah. Well, I know you look like a virgin. I know you look like a virgin right now. That's the whole problem.
Okay, you said NBA is your number one love. What do you feel about the whole sports betting scandal that was dropped this morning? Have you read? I know you're in the stew right now.
No. What's going on?
How's your DraftKings looking? You down, or you good this month?
I feel like I may have mispromoted myself. I love playing basketball, and as a kid I was like really religious about watching, and now I watched like the finals, and I watched the Knicks a lot because everybody at home was so excited, but I'm not really super keeping up. What about you?
No, I don't give a fuck about sports, but this gambling thing is cool because players are involved.
Players were gambling on their own games.
Yeah, so here's the
Pete
CNN headline. You have similar to P. Rose, the head coach of the Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups, and then a guard on the Heat are accused of scheming with fraudulent sports betting and exploiting insider information about NBA athletes. And then, apparently the FBI has been watching the NBA for a long time, and a bunch of people are coming down right now.
Whoa.
Which I guess is a good thing because a lot of every sport seems to be rigged right now.
Like what else?
Oh, your boy from LA hitting all those home runs and all those strikeouts. That ain't natural.
There's that. They just suspended a long-time NCAA football ref.
Well,
everyone thinks the NFL is rigged to do whatever Taylor Swift wants them to do, and so that's why it's so weird that sports betting and gambling is so prevalent now because there's nothing left to chance anymore.
They've basically made sports gambling a part of the game, and now get mad when people do it.
Right.
You know, like like if you watch ESPN, they're literally showing the odds on ESPN.
Right.
Like, these guys are only human.
It's just convenient.
Even though they have a $200 million contract, they might want to put.
Did you watch The Last Dance, the Jordan doc from COVID?
Actually, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't actually.
It's really amazing.
Really good.
And it's interesting how they tell a story about how, he'd be betting with a, person on the crew of the team, like somebody, and he would have the ferocious competitive energy on some stupid bet that he would have in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And also he would do this shit where like he would walk by the coach of the opposing team and he would kind of concoct a story that they were talking shit about him or something to get him angry.
I like that.
And I realized, like, I think there's a lot of ways in which he was using his, like getting himself angry in order to.
That's what I do. That's what I do with other podcasters. So I totally get it. I totally
Who
get
are
it.
your biggest competitors that you want to take down?
We ain't talking about that on the air, Chief. I got to protect myself and my family. I can't have
Smart list.
Yeah, smart list number one. Your boys. I'm sure those are your boys. All these all these fucking celebrities, all these fucking actors coming in thinking they can do this shit all up in the video. We don't fuck with that. This is an art form.
Fuck Amy Poehler.
But some of them, it's interesting though, because some celebrities, it just fucking works. Like the Amy Poehler shit worked out of the gate. There was no lag. Like that.
Yeah.
hit.
Amy Poehler's amazing.
And
yeah.
I think
that was a joke, by the way. I'm a fan.
There was a lot of I'll speak for yourself. There's a lot of there's a big upswing during COVID because everybody's like, I can do this.
Of course.
And then I think they realized like, oh, this actually is hard. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But the ones that kept with it are taking fucking money out of my pocket, food off of my plate.
Right.
Jason Bateman doesn't need more money. He's in every Netflix production in the last 20 years.
Right.
Save some for the rest of us, bro.
Are you sad about Marc Maron coming to an end?
No.
A little yes, a little no.
Because he was there early on.
Oh, for sure. No, him and Rogan are the OGs for real. Like that's like you can't really argue it. I mean, I think that Maron, if you do this for a living and you're Jason and I's age and you're like, you know, whatever, early 40s guys, like he was sort of the blueprint in many ways. You know what I mean? So you can't ever take that away from him. It became a little like, there was a joke that somebody said, like if they didn't invent the fast forward button through his opening rants, he would have never got the numbers because it got progressively like angrier. You know what I mean? As time goes on about like whatever his cats, the political situation, whatever it may be. And I think that started to turn people off. I think it's cool that he was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I did it. I'm going to head out. I think that's tough to do.
Well, I love how your guys' podcast seems like it's not just made to like promote people's products, you know, which a lot of podcasts feel like you get it, especially if you get a great artist that I love and I'm just going to listen to their interview and then I'm like, I'm hearing the same stories I heard on 5 other things and it's not that interesting.
Have you done the big dogs? Have you done like Dax Shepard and shit like that before?
No, I've never done. What is that? Armchair Expert?
Yeah.
No, I've never done that. I've honestly, this is like the first early on into me doing podcasts. But
really?
Yeah, I think How Long Gone might be the first straight podcast you've ever appeared on, right?
But I'm liking it a lot because also for me doing bite-sized interviews where it's like you know they come into the room and you do 8 minutes and stuff. I honestly get on a script where I start saying the same thing over and over again.
I mean, you have to like you kind of have to like. I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Well, that's our goal from the beginning, which is like that's what everyone does. What if? Oh, I don't know. You did something different, and that's all it is.
Right.
But for some people, they don't have time or they don't take the podcast seriously, and they're just like, okay, tell me about your new movie. And then they just make you the guest who's taking your time out of your day that's more important than the host.
Do all the work.
And do, tap dance for me. You do all the work. And then you say, yeah, I met Paul McCartney. And then they go, oh, did you like that? Yes, I liked it.
Did you like that?
Did you like it? Did you like it?
The junket thing, I know that I understand the purpose that it serves and like it exists and that's part of sort of the Hollywood machine that will probably never go away. Right. But it does seem like truly
a little antiquated.
Yeah, well, yeah, it also just seems like that stuff like I guess when you're in Europe and it's covering multiple countries and all that shit, I get it, but like for the most part, I'm just like, I don't know what you want these people to do. You know that after on hour 4, they're going to have steam coming out of their ears and they want to kill you. Like that's
right.
I need another Celsius after this one, guys.
Oh, I just had one. I mean, the amount of questions that I answered in the exact same fashion doing a press tour, like for Paper Towns, the John Green movie I did, was almost maddening. Like I think I almost lost my mind because I started to. It's like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I was just like, yes, I read the book. It was an incredible book, and you know, it was the same shit over.
I just don't know who it. I really don't know. I mean, but I guess you're right. If you're looking for a fucking 15-second soundbite, then that's a way to get it.
Right.
I get, you know. I
yeah,
guess.
but when you would do those, when you do the press runs for the movie as an actor, you would get real questions about acting and the process and interesting stories about the actual thing. And now it's like, what's your favorite candy? Do you like dogs? What's your favorite dog? You know.
I love the one where they're like, did you pull any pranks on set? And I'm like, yeah, I threw water balloons at Christoph Waltz. I'm like, no, I didn't pull pranks. That's an insane question.
We're adults, and this is
I kept punching Mark Wahlberg in the dick, like, fucking idiot.
I was like, we have a job to do. It's really hard to make a show. Or like,
You're like, people are spending millions of dollars.
What hijinks do you and Alex get into in the studio? I'm like, we record guitar parts. I'm like,
the hijinks is kind of trying to finish this shit so we can do it, like do it for a job. It's not really. There's not really.
Yeah, we were like. It's really, we're working really hard to do these things.
What's the prank? The prank is we work really hard. It's hilarious. It's just
the prank is that like we work really hard and then we go home and go to bed and then like come back and then we do it again.
I think
prank
that's
is on me.
Who is the OG prankster? Is it Clooney that made it his
Clooney,
like yeah. Clooney. I think Clooney ruined it for all of you.
Yeah, I think they got so excited by Clooney doing these pranks, which I'm sure he did like 3 pranks early on in his career. And also, he's probably acting in these movies where they're shooting for like a year and it's oceans and they all have like 5 scenes over the course of a year. So they have tons of time in their trailer where it's like you're doing an indie movie in 20 days and you're like trying to do 7 pages a day. And you're like, I'm going to I don't know, I'm going to like, do these, I'm going to put some rocks in somebody's shoe or something. It's like, no, I can't do this.
I'm going to light Margaret Qualley's shoes on fire.
Also, they've been asking me that question. I've had that question asked to me probably 10,000 times since I was 12 years old. And I've never been on a set where somebody did a prank. I've never
seen a prank.
It's usually a prank-free environment.
Yeah.
You don't realize that your agents are writing that into your contracts beforehand. It's a prank-free. If he's going to show up, there's no pranks. We can't have him pranking.
Prank. But it's because 99% of content being created and recorded now is like, we need something to play in the back of a taxi cab that Mario Lopez introduces. And that's it.
Yeah.
And we used to have TV shows where people would smoke cigarettes and drink whiskey and discuss real things for hours on end.
And listen to Gore Vidal over here.
Dick Cavett. Those Dick Cavett interviews.
Cavett's a dick.
Sure.
Literally.
All that
like
stuff.
Smoking cigarettes and talking to the audience. And it's so awesome.
I got to say, though, I saw a video on my Reels that was served to me of Mario Lopez getting ready to go to something. And he had his shirt off. Dick Cavett didn't look like that with his shirt off. I just want to point out the difference. It was a much better interview.
Dude, I love. Actually, I've never really listened to them, but I love doing an interview with Mario Lopez because I talked about how I was gambling in New Orleans during the movie that I was making in New Orleans. This is years ago, and he got so excited, and we spent a 20-minute interview talking about gambling. And I remember my old publicist, not my old publicist at the time, being like, "You didn't speak about the movie once." I was like, "Wasn't it amazing?"
Yeah, but I found out Mario's really good at blackjack. That was fun.
We can use none of this, right?
I know.
This is so. When did you open for BIllie already, or is that coming up?
No, we opened for. You didn't come see us, huh, Chris?
Tough ticket.
We opened for like 7 months or 7 months for BIllie, and we did 3 shows at Madison Square Garden, which was literally my main goal of life.
Yeah.
As a little kid, I said to my dad, I'm like, the thing I want to do, this is like the one thing I want to do. One day I want to play at Madison Square Garden. And then we got to do it 3 times. And I actually got to bring up my dad, who has been, battling cancer for years and stuff, and he wasn't able to play music for a while. And now he's doing so much better. And he got to come on stage and play the song that I wrote about his battling cancer.
God damn it! Now bro. Come on now.
Whoa.
That's.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Hopefully your dad came out with it, and everyone's making noise, and he's like, "Well, I was hoping for a headline, but we'll take opening." It's a start.
He's like,
I do have cancer, but,
son. You're telling me this chick is giving you 30 minutes up here? That's it? Like that's.
Oh, dude, we got 45. We got 45.
Okay, 45 is good. How many songs do you play in 45 minutes? What is that, like 10?
Oh, what did we sneak in? We snuck in about 10. Yeah, it should be 9. I think we pushed 2 together into a medley that we should have probably just played one of them. But
my question in those situations, when the artist that is headlining is that popular and the fans are so crazy and run to the front, and they're there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you retained a lot, or do you feel like they're there to see her and you're sort of the appetizer?
Oh, totally. When we opened when we were kids, we did one show opening for Justin Bieber, and it was as if we were like getting in the way of them seeing Justin Bieber. Like they were like on their phones, a bunch of teenage girls on their phones. But honestly, not just saying this, like BIllie's fans are so excited that, first of all, our fan bases overlap a lot, and the people they're such big fans of hers that they know who the opening act is, so they learn all the music beforehand. And They get there hours before, so we were playing to like 95% packed houses. We're usually
So it's like the opposite, basically. They like love her so much that they want to know who's.
yes.
Well, that sounds like a great, healthy environment. I'm assuming it was not the same with Cage the Elephant opening for Oasis when you saw them. Was it 95%?
It was, I think it was. I don't know, but it seemed like it was maybe less than that for that. But Cage the Elephant killed though. They fucking killed.
A little less than that. A little less than that.
Yeah, they killed.
That's great. I mean, so how is it going to feel, you think, to go back and do your own shows and no shots, they're a little smaller, you know what I mean?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, the amazing thing about doing our shows is that it's the only tough part about opening is that Billie's moving around, running around pop stars. So she's doing a show in the round. And as a band, that was a little bit hard because, we have like microphones that are planted and we'd have to switch instruments and go back and forth.
Sure.
I am excited about now going back to playing shows that aren't in the round. But besides that,
you're like, I'm really excited to face the audience the whole time. It's going to be sick. It's going to be sick.
I got an idea. They can see me.
or not have comments where people would be like, yeah, I saw Alex this whole show. I didn't see you. Or I saw you. And
do we do any, did she come out and sing? Did you go out and sing? Did we do the classic crossover, or is
no? But we had a song come out right before we went on tour called "Soft Kissing Her" that she produced and sang on, and
it's a nice song.
Oh, thank you. And so that ended up being like the kind of the crossover moment where we'd also get to thank her for being on tour and that kind of thing.
I see what you're saying. Sure.
Yeah, it was a really, really incredible experience with those audiences, which you'd think it would be this thing where they'd be like bored, but they were really passionate.
Times have just changed, man. People are fucking. Anytime I go to a show like that of that size, I'm always like, the audience, even if they have their phones out, they're rapt. Like they are fucking, like they are locked in a way that like I don't think that exists. I don't know. I don't feel like it was like that 10 years ago. I think there's a certain level, especially of like the pop female artist, that just inspires this dedication that is like absolute. Yeah, it's just
rabid.
It's different than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't have the capacity to be part of it.
Yeah, and like they know, like we'd play a few shows and we'd be playing stuff that was different than was on our record, and suddenly the audience would sing it how we were singing it live because they're all like watching videos of the show or I don't know, maybe they're going to multiple shows. They're like deadheads, but they're like going from show to show. These pop.
I mean, it could be all three, dude. Honestly,
yeah.
It could be all of it. It could be all of it. That's crazy. That's
beautiful.
Crazy.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
All right, bro.
Nat,
pleasure.
Thank you for taking the time to chat with us.
Leave.
Sorry. Yeah. This took. I feel like this took a long time to schedule, but I'm glad we made it happen on both sides.
Oh my God!
Like we had a conflict. You had a conflict.
Yeah. No, I think it was mostly you. Just kidding. No. No, I really, really, really love your guys' podcast. So I'm excited I got to be on it.
Oh man, thank you for that, and good luck in the studio. I hope you guys get this thing done, and the album comes out in January.
January 16th. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got a goal. We're hitting.
Tell your bro we say happy birthday.
Yeah, tell your bro happy birthday. We'll see you soon, man. Have a good one. All right.
All right.
Thanks again.
Bye. See you guys.
You smell like you've been sleeping in my clothes under the sheets. Dropped off with a suitcase